guys, so this week's video is all about the Aldi budget vegan shop that I did in my last video, so if you haven't seen that, go watch that first. But we spent £24 on a week's worth of groceries for 2 people, so it's £12 a head, and then we ate it for the following week. So this video features all of the recipes, the meals that we ate, and it went really well. We really enjoyed it. It was very usual to the foods that we eat all the time and the kind of recipes that we cook. We did have a lot of leftovers, which was great, which I didn't necessarily film, so keep that in mind for lunches. But yeah, it was a really successful week and I want to do more of these videos, so give it a thumbs up if you enjoy them and make sure you're subscribed to see more. I think next time, because of the whole plastic debate in the last video, I'm going to be trying a low waste or zero waste shop to see how far a budget will go. Let me know how much money you think that we should try and spend on that, whether it should be £15 or 20 quid. Yeah, leave your comments down below and I'll try that for the next one, going to some local zero waste or bulk stores and a farmer's market. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the meals that we ate during the 7 days and I hope you enjoy. So the first meal is breakfast. We've got some porridge, some berries and also some banana. I did add some chia seeds into the porridge. Like I mentioned in the previous video, we had some in the cupboard and I usually add chia seeds just because it's really good when you're vegan to have omega-3s and stuff, and I would recommend you get some for your cupboard when you have the budget for it. I just didn't want to repurchase, you know, things I already have, and my rule for this whole kind of challenge thing is to use some things like condiments and extra things with these meals, because typically most of us have stuff already in our cupboards. And yeah, chia seeds is something I'd really recommend you get if you're vegan. I'm not a dietitian, but if you do research and you look online and learn about these kinds of things, they are a really good source of healthy fats. There you have it. Classic porridge from me. I do have a recipe for this on my website if you want to follow along and learn how to cook it, but I think I'm going to be making that most mornings this week. Maybe sometimes I won't have the banana or whatever, but I only put half a banana in there, so I cooked it in so it kind of gives some sweetness, and I put some brown sugar instead of maple syrup, because while I think that chia seeds is something that you can get reasonably affordably, maple syrup not so much. Maple syrup's really expensive, so switch out the maple syrup for just any old sugar. So let's eat this on camera. I feel like this is the sort of food I've eaten on camera a lot. This way of making the coulis kind of thing on top is so yummy. You could just use jam if you're on even more of a budget, or if you have jam in the cupboard, that's another way to skip out on fruit. But you know, this is kind of getting a lot more fruit in your morning rather than just jam, so yum. Finished result. Yum. I am so hungry, it's ridiculous. We just went to the gym for the first time in months. Literally, we've been so off our game because we've been so busy, and I am so excited for this. I have done this recipe on my channel, like varieties of it, many times. It's so easy and it's such a good like student meal because it tastes unreal, and you don't need to buy coconut milk, which is actually quite expensive. You can just use soy milk to make that creamy texture, and oh my gosh, I'm going to do a gross slurp for all you people who hate when I eat food on camera. Oh, we did cheat a little bit, sriracha, but I feel like you've got to have some spice in there. If you don't have sriracha, just put some chili powder in or chili flakes to give it that kick. Yum, yum, yum.
Cosmetic tweaks to help create a more appealing environment.
It's the week before my time of the month, and I don't know about you, but I ate enough for probably about 5 people during that time. So right now I really want to eat this, and I'm worried that I'm going to eat all the snacks for my week in the first day. But the good thing about this chocolate bar is it comes in little sections, so you're kind of like, right, this is my amount, so I can actually save some for my other evenings with my cup of tea. So that's what I'm going to do now. Some chocolate and a cup of tea. Good morning, excuse how tired I look and bedraggled. This morning I'm gonna make a smoothie. Maybe this is cheating, maybe you guys can call me out for this, but I really want to have a smoothie. Smoothies are actually quite expensive for breakfast, but I figured that because we got some of that frozen fruit and I also have this half a banana left over from yesterday, I can make a smoothie with some oats and kind of show you a different way of having a breakfast that's not just porridge. Now I'm going to be adding some protein powder in because I have protein powder. I've got this one from Vegan Life that they gifted me when I went to Vegan Life Live a few weeks ago. It's their salted maca caramel. I'll put up on the screen how much this costs because they did give this to me as a nice little gift, which is very kind of them. But I think that getting a protein powder, lots of people do get protein powders and you buy them once and then they're in your cupboard. So maybe it's an expense that I don't know, at university, maybe if I was going to the gym more at uni I would have done, but I'm just gonna go for it. And I also did buy that kale. Oops. I did buy that kale the other day, so I figured I could put some kale in. I could put some oats, a banana or two, some soy milk, and while there is a little bit of extra stuff with the protein powder, it still does kind of fit in the budget. I don't know. Let me know what you guys would prefer with these videos. Would you prefer I did it where I just ate the food from the budget? Or would you not mind if I'm using condiments and like things like protein powder or extras that I have in my cupboard already? Because, I don't know, it depends on the audience who's watching, because it depends on if you're properly on a budget where you can't afford things like protein powder and chia seeds, or if you're someone who you're on a budget but you can afford to buy those things very occasionally to sort of fill your cupboards. So yeah, let me know. But you could, the thing is, this smoothie that I'm going to show you, you could make it without the protein powder still and it would be really good. Totally forgot to put oats in there. So I'm just going to put maybe a quarter of a cup or so of oats into the smoothie and then blend it again. So let's give this a try. That's delicious. I'll still put on the screen how much that was, because maybe if you are wanting to drink some protein powder or have protein in your morning smoothie, it might be interesting, because I feel like that's quite an affordable smoothie. Well, we'll find out, won't we? So yeah, but let me know if you want me to include those extras in these videos, or if you think it kind of sways the whole thing. I don't know, I feel like because I want to continue eating intuitively during this process, because that's how I tend to eat, I don't want to stop myself from having foods that I want, because if I'm going to be doing this once a month, 1 week out of every month, I don't know. Because if you didn't know, I used to have an eating disorder, and I then went on to have disordered eating habits within veganism, which I'm sure lots of people experience when they're following these extreme vegan diets. So now I try to eat as intuitively as possible. So if I crave something and if I'm after something, if I want something, then I will try and eat it. Obviously I have the privilege to do so with the budget that I have, but just let me know your thoughts on that. And yeah, I just don't want to, like, 1 week out of every month be like, oh, I can't have that or I can't have this, because that's not a good way to live if you're someone who's recovered from an eating disorder when it comes to food. You've got to figure out the balance. So, but that, you know, shows that some people who are on a budget, who don't have money, who can't afford things, that is difficult in eating disorder recovery, and it's another issue altogether. But yeah, just thought I'd say that. Let me know your thoughts. Dinner is served. I had a bite and then I realised I needed to film. I keep on forgetting. There's Alex's complete one. This is just some burgers, some kale and some potatoes. So it was maybe like a third of the bag of kale. I wanted to use the whole bag. or the rest of the bag with Alex.
It's hard because you put it in, it's like overflowing the pan.
Yeah,
you
and
don't
it
realise
shrinks
how
to
much it shrinks
nothing.
down. And then I was like, that looks like the right amount. Probably because I would eat less than you, whereas
She
you could
likes-
have eaten the whole portion.
Alex likes to not listen to me when I tell him things. This is like such a good meal. Really looking forward to this. The key to making kale taste good if you don't like kale is frying it with some garlic, some soy sauce and some lemon juice, and then it tastes really good. And then the potatoes, just if you wanted to know, they've just got literally salt, pepper and mixed herbs, and then they taste like really delicious wedges. Like you've got some really posh wedges from a pub or a restaurant. And what are you laughing at? Posh pub chips. And yeah, it's so cheap. So it's Saturday morning and I'm having a bowl of porridge and I put peanut butter on it. I don't really like peanut butter. I'm like a bit of a fake vegan, but I don't know why I suddenly kind of craved it this morning. So I've put it on there and maybe I'll be converted. It's kind of really nice peanut butter. It's like runny. Normally peanut butter is really dry and thick and I hate that. So maybe I've just been having the wrong peanut butter because I don't mind like satay. So I was gonna get on here and update you that last night we had satay, like peanut stir fry, the same as we had the night before. Sometimes I do that where I eat one food. Alex is always like this, where if you eat one thing, you want it again and again and again, and you just want the same meal because it was so good. And we haven't had that meal for a while. We used to have it all the time when we lived in Brighton. It was like our go-to, just because it's so fast. And I feel like I'm converted to the frozen vegetable life because it's so much quicker. I think I'm gonna continue buying frozen vegetables when I just haven't recently for like emergency meals when you get home and you're just like, I'm starving, I want noodles, frozen veg now. But yeah, the challenge is going well, and yeah, I think this weekend I'm gonna have to cheat a bit again because we're going out for a meal with my family, but I feel like maybe that doesn't count because it's not your weekly shop and a lot of people do that at the weekend, so yeah. We'll see. But yeah, everything feels very normal and it's going well. Everything's very delicious, and this evening I think we're gonna have spaghetti with the garlic bread that we bought, and I'm really excited. Yay! Dinner is served. Spaghetti, garlic bread. Wow! Thanks, Alex.
Phew, that's hard. Really tricky dish.
Pasta sauce and spaghetti. So that was really fast. If you actually had leftover rice, which we didn't, then it'd be really quick. I left the aquafaba chickpea juice in there because I kind of thought when you have fried rice you have eggs, and I thought the juice would kind of give it that juiciness. I don't know. I thought that it might make it, and it has. It's made it not be so dry, which I think when I've made fried rice sometimes it can be, and I normally would do it with like scrambled tofu kind of thing. So Yeah, but you can rinse the chickpeas or whatever, but I just thought I'd give that a go. Just finished our porridge, our breakfast porridge. So, the week has finished and we did it a lot better this time. And I feel like it went really well, don't you?
It was really good.
I think we ate out once at the weekend with my family, went to the pub.
Yep.
And
oh, I remember, yeah, we did, yeah.
And I think that, yeah, that doesn't count. Lots of people eat out once a week.
No.
And it's more to do with the food that you eat at home.
We've got a meal right here.
So there are some things left. We have a tin of baked beans. This is actually Alex's error because we had baked beans on jacket one day at work.
Yeah.
And he only brought one tin of beans and I would have eaten a whole tin myself.
Well.
So, because I was really hungry that day. By the time I got home I was ravenous because I only had half a tin of beans.
Well, we got 4
in the jacket.
potatoes, so I assumed we'd have, you know, 1 tin between 2 potatoes.
Yeah.
And then we ended up eating the potatoes as chips. So
yeah. So that should have been consumed because I was really hungry that day. We have some oats left, but also I feel like I might have accidentally used the other oats we have because we have like 4 different sets of oats from these videos and from recipe stuff. So I think we probably would have used all of this up.
Probably more or less, I think.
Because I think once or twice.
I think we did use a old Tesco one by mistake.
Yeah, because it's in the same cupboard and they have the same kind of packaging.
Exactly the same, yeah.
But as I suspected, the onions have been left over and you guys have been flooding us with comments on what recipes to do for the onions because you were worried I was going to waste them.
But everyone said freeze them as well.
Yeah, don't worry, onions last forever.
Yeah,
I didn't mean like, oh, we're not going to use these, therefore they're going to go in the bin. I just meant in terms of like a weekly shop with the money, it's frustrating when you have to buy like this amount when you know that you're not going to use them in the week. But onions last ages. I will get through them.
For the size, you could probably use about 3 in a
yeah, like last night I used 3 in the fried rice. So it went really well. There were definitely times where I felt a bit hungry because I usually snack more. I think the next time I will buy some more snacks and I will actually make those oat cookies because I said I was going to make some biscuits and I never got around to it. It was a busy week.
Yeah. Because we didn't buy any, did we?
Yeah. I think I definitely stole some biscuits at work. Oops. But that's free food. If you can get free food from friends, it doesn't count.
Yeah, everyone does that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not cheating.
Where are we going to go next?
Some people said Lidl, but there's also Asda.
There's a lot of Sainsbury's as well.
Were there?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Where's the nearest Sainsbury's? Oh, right, yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's really difficult. And some people suggested Waitrose to sort of see how it would work at a shop that's more expensive or known to be like a wealthier kind of place to go.
That would be quite interesting.
Hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments again what shop you want us to go to next. I really want to try like farmers market or like zero waste shops.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Because the plastic issue is coming up and it seems to be quite an important thing. So I'd quite like to kind of try a zero waste bulk kind of farmers market local shops to see if we can do it like without any plastic. So it's like a budget vegan shop with no plastic, like local. That could be a fun one. Because as I mentioned, a lot of us who are trying to eat vegan food or trying to be vegan or are vegan are also aware and conscious of our plastic consumption. Someone also commented saying that when I mentioned about vegans being conscious of their plastic, saying, oh, people who aren't vegan are too. I know that. I was just saying that lots of vegans are conscious. There are also lots of non-vegans who are conscious, but it just kind of follows that if you're like thinking about your diet, you are potentially also thinking about your plastic consumption. That's all I meant.
I know a lot of people are vegan for environmental reasons.
That's kind of what I was referring to. It doesn't mean that if you aren't vegan, you aren't concerned about that at all. That's not. Yeah, anyway, we'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoy. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Excuse the post-shower hair.
Oh, am I in this?
Yes?
Well, I haven't checked my appearance.
What do you mean? You don't need to.
Oh, yeah. Alright,
Come on.
cool.